This is Agricultural Research Council of Nigerian Television. My name is Joshua Ishaya. And behind me, I'm standing in front of a dam here in Jabi, Abuja. And of course, guess what? This place is blazing really hot because we are here to see how fish are caught. It's actually a chain. There are people who are saddled with the responsibility to get the fish from the river, and there are people who are responsible to buy them up from the from people who caught them, and of course down to the market where it's been sold. So of course it's a holistic chain, and we're here to explore those potential only on Aqua Farming on Agricultural Research Council of Nigerian Television. Come with me as we actually embark on this amazing episode once again on Aqua Farming. Stay tuned.
My name is Ali Ibrahim. I am from Kaduna State. We come from Kaduna State with our parents, including our children. We come to dams, especially Jabi Dam. Honestly, it's been long I've been doing this job. In fact, I inherited it from my forefathers. We don't farm. We don't do anything else. Pure fishermen. Fishing is what we inherited from our forefathers. This is the cast net. We call it duru, and we have the trap net called kali. This is the only work we do daily. We usually go at night or even in the daytime to cast our net. Duru is the one we go into the water immediately and catch the fish. But the trap net, which is the kali, is what we put to sleep overnight. The gura is the type of fishing where we use chaff. That sort of fishing also requires a trap to sleep over the night. When the fish go to eat the chaff in the net, then it can be caught. But the duru fishing does not require all that. You put the net, in 5 minutes time, you can remove the net. And if you check the net, you could not catch anything, you can go somewhere else to cast the net. The duru net is the best because it catches a lot of fish at the same time. And because it is the most recent type of fishing, unlike the hook our forefathers used. If you want to make money quickly in fishing, duru is the best of it all. In my experience all my life in fishing, I've once caught a gigantic fish here in Jabi Lake Dam that was sold for almost 37,000 naira. But in Shika Dam, it's different because it has many big fishes in it. You can catch big fish that will surprise you at times. We sell our fish to the people who we call Mbanko. Some buy and sell it fresh, while some buy, prepare it, and fry it to sell. And the way we organize the market is in such a way that everyone has a section he operates in. No one interferes into another person's business, because it is impossible for you as a fisherman to go into the water in the evening, then come back by 4 in the morning. You will not have time to rest. So you have to sell it to others so they can go and get something for themselves. You know, fishes are treasures that got kept in the water. So whether you see it or you don't see it, anytime you throw your net, if God helps you, you will have a catch. Honestly, I'm proud of fishing. I will never forget when I caught fish in Baga, Maiduguri, where I caught fish worth 2.8 million naira. I have witnesses who can testify these with me. During that period, I switched into business with the money It got to an extent that I abandoned fishing for some time. In fact, I spent close to 13 years before I returned to fishing again. I was busy doing business. Our job is like a harder. We don't stay in a place. Because right now, if I hear there's fish in Bielsa, I will go to Bielsa. If I hear it's Maiduguri, believe me, I will go to Maiduguri. So we don't station in a place. If it's Chad, Niger, or even Cameroon, all we are ready to go. Sometimes we go with our families. If you have 2 wives, you can go with one. If you have 2, one of the major problems we face is the cast net than trap net. Because those who use the trap net do say the cast net users catches all the fish in the water. So they are left with nothing, not knowing only God helps us all. For example, the trap net user can toil with his net from morning till night and get 1,000 naira, while the cast net user can spend an hour in the water and get 5,000 naira or even more. This is the major problems amongst fishermen. The beauty of fishing is you can switch to any form of fishing, whether cast net or trap net, anyone that suits you. But the cast net cannot be done by one person. It's either 2 people or 5 people. The trap net, one person can fish with it. First of all, if you want to be a fisherman, you must know how to paddle a canoe. You will gradually learn. From there, he becomes a fisherman. From using an old net, from there, he buys his net. Then he starts to fish. The most expensive fish is called giwa because it grows big. And here in Jabi Lake, we have limited varieties of fish. Here in Jabi, we have more tilapia fish in Jabi Lake Dam. In some dams that are bigger than Jabi Dam, they still don't have the tilapia fish Jabi Lake has. Because the tilapia fish has small eggs than any fish in the world. No matter how bad the water is, you always find tilapia in the water. One of the disheartening things is when fellow fishermen get jealous of those using the cast nets. My happiest moment in fishing is when I was in Baga in Maiduguri, because the fish that is in that water, only God knows the statistics. Any fish species you know in Nigeria is in Baga, no matter what. Consumers can buy directly from the fisherman only when the retailers are not around. I will advise anyone who wants to join fishing. I will only ask him to come. Let's join hands together to make wealth. As for government, we request they show us modern way of fishing, since technology has advanced. Modern education is what we lack. Honestly, we don't know the channel to send our message across the government. As far as we are concerned, each time you are given the privilege to enter into the water, for us here, it seems you have been granted our heart desires. But when government says it does not want to see us in a place, it really affects us and even our family. As for those that want to join us, they should just get their tools, get the necessary permission from the chairman of the fishing dam. We don't advise anyone to go into fishing who does not know how to swim. In fact, it is impossible to be a fisherman if you cannot swim. Sometimes the boat can capsize. So if you cannot swim, what do you do in that case? You see how important it is to know how to swim in this trade. And we don't allow epileptic patients to be a fisherman because it's dangerous for him. For me, I feel the tribe that dominates fishing are the people from Kebbi State because they are surrounded by water and their forefathers did not farm. All they know is fishing. Anywhere you go, you must see a Hausa in that dam or river fishing. My name is Sanda Hamisu. I buy fish from the fisherman. Some use the hook, some use the net, some use the duru or even the trap nets. I've been in this job for the past 10 years. When we buy the fish, we fry them to sell. We also sell fresh ones or smoke them as the case may be. Some of the fish will remove their scales, while some you don't need to remove the scales. You just remove the intestine, and that's all. We add spices, then fry it. For the intestine, we feed them to the fish in the water. As for some of the catfish that are big, the little children fry and eat their intestine. We fry them and take them to town. Sometimes we take it to Wuse market. Like for me, I take it to Zone 4. Some come down here to buy from us. We have different challenges shrouded in this business. But the major challenge is during cold season. Like this season, we're gradually entering. We find it difficult to meet the demands. We go outside to source for fish. There are more fish during the rainy season. One thing I can tell you about fish is if it notices new water, it will give birth to many fishes. If it gets used to the water, it will not give birth. Sometimes the problem is government. To demolish our houses, we are just managing right now. With this fish selling, I've achieved a lot. If government will empower us, we will do even more. For anyone who wishes to join us, I will tell you it's a lucrative business. You won't regret joining it.
Kasan shi kifi in ya ji ruwa sabon ruwa shigo shi yanzu to zuwa an jima kana ganin ya bayyana ko ina amma kuma in ya saba da ruwan ya kadan dauke lokaci kadan.
Sunana assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Ni ne Muhammadu Duku Abdul Qadir.
My name is Duko Abdul Qadir Dutsamma. The reason why we salt the fish is because it gives it a better taste and it looks better. Once fish is being caught, as long as it inhales the air outside the water, it will not survive in the water anymore. That's why no matter how small the fish is, you consume it. Because even when you want to put it back in the water, it can rarely survive. I've been doing it for the past 20 years. This fish is called tsige. It has teeth. It bites. If it bites you, you'll be surprised. It has teeth. You can see it. It grows big. It also found in the Jabi Lake Dam. The fish I love to catch is giwa fish. It is very expensive because it grows fast. It feeds on smaller fish. This is the giwa fish. It's found here in Jabin Lake. Sometimes, government come to put thousands of fish in the water. For those who want to join this business, I will say you are most welcome.
Shine tsage mai haƙora wanda yara irin yara na ƙauye din nan masu wanka cikin ruwa ba wando.
The tilapia are second only to carp as the most widely farmed freshwater fish in the world. The Nile tilapia, popularly called Orniloticus, was one of the first fish species. Cultural illustrations from Egyptian tombs suggest that Nile tilapia were cultured more than 3,000 years ago. Tilapia have been called St. Peter's fish in reference to biblical passages about the fish feeding multitudes. The Nile tilapia is the most widely cultured species of tilapia in Africa. Positive aquacultural characteristics of tilapia are their tolerance to poor water quality and the fact that they eat a wide range of natural food organisms. Biological constraint to the development of commercial tilapia farming are their inability to withstand sustained water temperature below 50 to 52 degrees and early sexual maturity that results in spawning before fish reach market size. Following a discussion of the characteristics and culture of hybrid tilapia. Reproduction process. In all Oreochromis species, the male excavates a nest in the pond bottom, generally in water shallower than 3 feet, and mates with several females. After a short mating ritual, the female spawns in the nest. About 2 to 4 eggs per gram of brood female. The male fertilizes the eggs, and she then holds and incubates the eggs in her mouth, buccal cavity, until they hatch. Fry remain in the female's mouth through yolk sac absorption and often seek refuge in her mouth for several days after they begin to feed. Sexual maturity in tilapia is a function of age, size, and environmental conditions. The Mozambique tilapia reaches sexual maturity at a smaller size and younger age than the Nile and the blue tilapias. Tilapia's population in large lakes mature at a later age and larger size than the same species raised in small farm ponds. For example, the Nile tilapia matures at about 10 to 12 months and 3.5 to 1 pounds, 350 to 500 grams. In several East African lakes, under good growth conditions, these same species will reach sexual maturity in farms, ponds at the age of 5 to 6 months and 5 to 7 ounce, 150 to 200 grams. When the growth is slow, sexual maturity in the Nile tilapia is delayed a month or two, but stunted fish may spawn at a weight of less than 1 ounce, 20 grams. Under good growing conditions in ponds, the Mozambique tilapia may reach sexual maturity in as little as 3 months of age. When they seldom weigh more than 2 to 4 ounces, 60 to 100 grams. In poorly fertilized ponds sexually, mature Mozambique tilapia may be as small as 15 grams. Fish farming strategies that prevent overcrowding and stunting include cage farming, where eggs fall through the mesh to the pond's bottom before the female can collect them for brooding. A polyculture with a predator fish such as fingerlings, largemouth bass at 400 per acre, culture of only males. All male culture is desirable in ponds not only to prevent the overpopulation and stunting, but also because males grow about twice. Physical characteristics. Tilapia are shaped much like sunfish or crayfish, but can be easily identified by an interrupted lateral line. Characteristics of this cichlid family of fishes: they are largely compressed and deep-bodied with long dorsal fins. The forward portion of the dorsal fin is heavily spined. Spines are also found in the pelvis and anal fins. There are usual wide vertical bars down to the sides of frying fingerlings and sometimes adults. Diseases. Tilapia are more resistant to viral bacteria and parasitic diseases than other commonly cultured fish, especially at optimum temperatures for growth. Lymphocritus, colomaris, Welling disease, and hemorrhagic septicemia may cause high mortality, but these problems occur most frequently at water temperatures below 68 degrees, caused by the protozoan Achiophoris multifilus, can cause serious losses of fry and juveniles in extensive recirculating systems. External protozoans such as Trichodina and Epicellus also may reach epidemic densities on stress fry in intensive culture. In recent years, the bacterial infections Streptococcus has caused heavy losses primarily in circulating and intensive flow through systems.
This is Agricultural Research Council of Nigerian Television, and of course the program has been Aqua Farming. For those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, Aqua Farming is a program that tells you all you need to know about aquatic world, talking about fish, crabs, shells, and whatever when it comes to anything in the water. And today we happen to find ourselves in Jabi Lake Dam, where we had to talk to some of the local fishermen to tell us the procedures in which they go through to actually get your fish, and of course on how they get them sold and down to the markets in and around Abuja. Until tomorrow, my name is Joshua Ishaya, thanking you for staying with us. Have yourself a wonderful day.